Hi friends, welcome to a new type of video. Today we are doing what I guess is, I'm just gonna call like a gaming vlog, but we're doing this booktube style. So it's kind of like when a new book comes out, booktubers I watch will like spend the weekend reading the whole book and they'll check in time to time with their thoughts. And I wanna do that for video games. So we're gonna do that firstly in this video with Crisol Theater of Idols. I have been so excited to play this game. Life got a little hard and busy and we all got sick, so I couldn't play it around release, but I am playing it now. So I loved the demo that I played, I think back in January, and so far the game has not disappointed. But general premise is that I think you're a person who was dead and has been revived by the sun. You are a sun bro. The sun has sent you to this island town of Tormentosa that worships the sea god, because the sea god is trapped in a cathedral and I guess the seal is weakening and the sea god and the sun god don't jive. So you have been sent there to make the seal good again. But when you show up, the town is clearly in disarray. There was some sort of festival happening, but there's no bodies. Clearly been some sort of conflict. But the really important thing that I hope will like suck you in like it did me is that this is so clearly inspired by BioShock, and I've been playing for a little while now, so I can tell you that it is not a copy. It's just, it has all the same juicy vibes as BioShock, which is exactly why I loved it so much. So I'm having such a good time. So this is very Spanish inspired. I think the enemies inspired by Spanish architecture. Statue enemies are so unsettling but kind of cartoony. And then, oh my god, if you want to talk about design, there's like the splash art for the game, but then there's also the design of the big bad enemy so far that we love. Oh my god.
No, Mother Dolores, I beg you. No, forgive me.
Mother Dolores.
No. I will save my prayers for your funeral. I was going to be quick. I enjoy watching you suffer.
Oh my gosh, she was in the demo. Dolores, I'm obsessed, absolutely obsessed, and she is terrifying but beautiful, and I love her. And it's so funny because I'm playing through the first part of the game, and you play a little bit, and then you get to the demo section. So we played the demo, we know what happened there, and she appears in the demo. So I knew it was coming. Even though I knew it was coming, she still got me. I was still like, ugh.
There you are. There's no point in fighting. Better to hide. Hide from her. Come out so that I won't hurt you.
So it's just done so well, and she stalks you, and her voice, the things she says, and you can hear her footsteps, and I can't get over it.
When I find you, you wish you'd never been born.
Can't get over it. I love it. I really want like a figure of Dolores. I just think she's perfect. Other things that I've loved so far, the transformation, like the blood going all over the weapons, and then you have this really amazing weapon, and then you actually have to like bleed into the gun to refill it is so cool. But it's so violent, but it's beautifully gory, if that makes sense. Oh, it's so good. And when you first get the weapon, like you get a handgun and a knife early on, and the way they transform, I was just mesmerized. I loved it so much. And then you do get a shotgun later on, and the same thing happens.
We'll meet again, Assassino.
I'm excited to see what other weapons you get, but oh, so far, so good. There's a couple amazing characters too that we have met. There's Mediodia, who is this absolute darling ray of sunshine with very unsettling eyes. I just am like, ooh, you're cute and you're really positive, but I feel like we can't trust her. Like, I feel like she's gonna be the perfect, like, bad guy or a boss somewhere in there, but ooh, she's great. But she's our friend right now. She is a sun bro as well. I guess that this town worships the sea god, but there's some people that worship the sun god in private. And so that's the general thing. So we came across them. They're the Solari. But Mediodia seems to be in charge. And then we also met this merchant.
Yoo-hoo, little Robin. Come closer. Don't be shy.
Who are you?
Just a humble admirer, nothing more. It's not every day a soldier of the sun visits us, especially one so handsome.
Cut the nonsense, witch. I do not have time for games.
Such venom, mon cher. This witch only wants to help you.
And they have a sign out front that, what does it say? La Planendera? I'm not saying that right. Forgive me. But when I looked it up, it means like professional mourner, or it's like a woman that like will get paid to cry at funerals or something, which I just thought was a very sassy thing for her to like have on her sign. But our guy Gabe calls her a witch. She doesn't seem to care too much about that, and she is not only our save points, but she can upgrade our arsenal and give us cool skills, so we love her. But just, I don't know, her whole like confident sassiness I just really like. And but you hardly interact. She just says like one-liners. I really want her to talk to me more. I hope that we flesh that character out a little bit, because I just think she's interesting so far. But I think that's where we're at. Mediodia, the merchant, witch lady, and dwarf. We love them. Okay, vloggy check-in time. I just completed the 3rd mermaid. So we did the dance hall, the brothel, and the casino. And honestly, it was like so tragic learning that the mermaids were Herminia's daughters. I definitely thought, because of the liquor and the cocktail recipe and stuff, that it was gonna be like the mermaids were just gonna be like a building with a mermaid on it where like a certain ingredient was. Like I thought we were gonna be like finding her magical ingredients for the cocktail, which is really stupid. It's not a very clever idea, but obviously that's just where my brain went. But then we learned that her mermaids are like her precious daughters that she adopted, and she gave them each a section of her business, and they're trying to succeed together, and it's just, it was a lovely human element, but it's doing the thing that BioShock did too, where it's like, here's this really understandable human element, but you only get to see it after it's tragically ended and through this like tragic and violent lens. So I was just like, oh, I haven't gone to see Herminia yet, but I'm sure that encounter is not going to be a fight. I feel like she's just gonna give up because her daughters are gone. And it's just so melancholy, and I'm just like, oh, I guess I really wasn't expecting to just feel sad. I guess you think you're going into this just to like hunt down some bad people, but I think that that's a good sign that this story is going to turn some things on her head. I really don't think we're the good people. And I'm starting to think that Gabe thinks he's way more important than he is. Like, I think he's just a grunt, and he thinks that he's like a chosen grunt, but I don't think he was anything special. He's probably not even the first, so interesting. So I'm past the demo, far past the demo now. We're about to go see Herminia, I think, in the tavern. Dolores chasing is amazing. I love her and I hate her. Stalker mechanics are some of my favorite in games. One of my favorite games of all time is Clock Tower 3, and the whole game is just stalker mechanics. And then obviously I like Resident Evil 2, and like I love the mechanic. I also hate it. Like I get so exhausted and terrified, but I love it. Dolores is perfection. I want a figure of her. Her design, everything, just, oh, it's so good. It's so good. Whichever artist created her, I love you. I love you so much. So obviously I'm having a fantastic time. I'm about 1/3 of the way through. Oh, and the other thing that I had this feeling is combat is hard. I feel very weak. I recently played Resident Evil 6, and I think I commented in that Let's Play that like the guns suck. They felt so weak. They just didn't feel like they had any punch. And it doesn't feel that way in Crisol. So I feel like it's really nailed the like, it's not that I'm weak, it's that the enemies are strong kind of thing. So I don't feel like the guns are lacking. And I think that has to do with the visual design of the actual like firing of the guns and the sound design. But combat is hard, but I feel like it's not like the guns suck like in Resident Evil 6. It's just because the enemies are strong, if that makes sense. So like it's like combat is hard, but then you feel really good when you get past it. So it's kind of activating that part of my brain. And then when I finally do like lock in and figure out and don't completely get my ass kicked in combat, it feels really good, but I'm still getting my ass kicked most of the time. Having to figure out like how much health you want to keep, how much ammo you need is a very interesting thing that my brain has finally got itself wrapped around. But I am loving it. I'm so excited that I'm loving it as much as I thought I would, and that it's surprising me with its human element and the emotional parts. The stories of the mermaids was lovely. The dancer, super cute, where that guy confessed her love and then he sacrificed himself to protect her, but she ended up killing herself anyway, which is sad. And then the brothel, that story was super interesting, and the puzzle with the rooms, I loved that. And then also it was like the one, who was the girl that Marta was in love with? Was it the girl that had the baby? The one that was treated terrible by Arroyo? Oh my goodness. Probably. I think that's probably who it is. I'll have to go back and check the note. And then the casino, I found that one a little lackluster. I just feel like we didn't get as much of the story there. Obviously, I can't think of that mermaid's name, but her childhood friend kind of like let these bad guys in. He was kind of, which sucks, but I feel like we needed more there. Maybe I just missed something. I probably missed like a letter or something. But I loved the puzzle. The dominoes puzzle and the spinning thing was great. So I found that the whole sequence very satisfying. So far, this game has given me everything I like stalker mechanics. It's weird and twisted. It's got some story and human tragic elementness to it, and it's got puzzles. It's everything for me. It's everything for me, and it's beautiful, and it's bloody, and it's just awesome. Okay, hello friends! Little classic Let's Play section. We are heading into the tavern. I got the 3 mermaids. I'm a bit scared about what this confrontation is going to include, just because I feel like it's gonna be sad. Where am I going? I need to go to her office. But yeah, just going through. I'm really glad we didn't have to kill the 3 mermaids ourselves. There, I think this is the door. But learning how much she loved them and cared about them, I'm just like, oh no, this is gonna be sad. Okay, it said 3 mermaids cocktail, 4 gin, 3 Medusa, 2 seaweed, 4 blue, 3 pink, 2 green. Okay, I see. I think I just need to do this. 3, 2, and 4. Nice. Oh, the whole wall spun around with us, isn't it? Are you ready? Okay. I hit the button. Is it going? Oh, she's wearing the necklaces. And she gave a piece of her necklace to each of her 3 adopted daughters. Oh, and now I have to tell her that they're all dead. It wasn't me, though. It wasn't me.
It's funny when you think about it. I never thought my last words would be to a servant of the sun. Life's always had a pretty twisted sense of humor. Don't get me wrong, boy. I'm not asking for your forgiveness. I just have one request. Put an end to Arroyo and break this curse. Make sure my mermaids didn't die for nothing.
At least she already knows.
Where are you hiding, Herminia? Do not make me come looking for you. It will not open from this side.
Oh, I have a... Oh.
It should open from the other side.
Can I get over there? No? How do I... Do I jump down? Oh, that doesn't seem safe. I don't like that. I don't like those sounds at all. no, 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 no. Oh, we gotta reload. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Ah! Please be dead. Hi, baby. Hi. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Didn't I reload? Shit. Reload faster, reload faster, reload faster. Oh, we gotta run so fast. Get back here. Oh. Did he go? I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it. I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it. Oh! Oh, I pressed the wrong button, but I guess that's fine. Hey, honey. I'm sorry, Mommy is in distress because the things are creepy. Okay, it went that way, but is it still that way? Oh, right. Need more weapons for my shotgun. I hate it so much. My goodness. What is it? Ugh. Gross. Okay, just go. Can people see it? Bleh. Bleh, 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 bleh. Ugh. Okay, let's eat some chicken. Oh. Oh. I should have seen that coming.
You could not live with the guilt, could you? I hope the sun allows you to be with your mermaids.
Oh. I hope so too. To absorb her when she's up there. Ugh. Dagger number 2. It's really pretty. Such a gross creation process, but it's really pretty.
Thousands of devotees journeyed to the island, hoping to prove themselves worthy of his affection. Some tried reciting beautiful poetry,
Wow,
others
look at him.
composing the sweetest melodies. But only one soul could truly capture his blazing heart. A young priestess named Dolores. Her spirit was so pure that even God himself could not help but fall deeply in love. From that day forth, Dolores became his queen, and the sun, blinded by love, vowed to remain by her side until the end of time.
What the frick happened to Dolores? Okay. Guess that's everything in here. I'm so sorry, Armenia. Ooh. Freaky.
Arroyo, are you still there?
Captain Escudero, sooner than I expected. Are you starting to doubt already?
My faith is stronger than you think, preacher.
For now. But your journey is only beginning. I assure you, when the time comes, you won't see the sun the same way again. Tell me, aren't you curious what led Madre Dolores to turn her back on him?
I swear by the sun, I will tear out your tongue with my bare hands.
Bark all you want, but you know full well, blood doesn't lie.
Hey, baby. What is it? running. I feel like she's just gonna come through the wall. Oh god! Oh god! Okay. What? How did she get behind me? Oh, my baby might be standing for the. Oh my gosh! Are you about to? Great, square, run. Okay, we're running. We're still running. Oh my god. Oh, she came in the wall behind me. We're running. We're running. We're just not going to stop moving. Right? Oh my gosh, there's an elevator. Button, 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 button. Press the button. Press the button. Press the button.
You can't hide forever. You can't run forever.
Oh, okay. I deserved that. I got too comfortable. Oh. All right, we're going back to the fair. Okay, we have... Wow, there's a lot more guys kicking around. Where did you all come from? I got some chests I need to find. I think I have 2, 3, and 4.
Well done.
Thanks. I did have a thought. Because when we first showed up, Gabe was all like, this is a battlefield with no bodies. So where are the bodies? And then when we were leaving, right after we met the Sun people here and we were leaving from the cellar, we saw a conversation where one of them was like, oh, he's the chosen one. And the other one was like, yeah, whatever. I feel like we're not the first Sun warrior to be sent here with these powers. And that's why there's no bodies, because other people have shown up and consumed them. And that's why Mediodia is like bossing us around. And she's so surprised we got it done, because up until now, no one had got it done, you know? That's what I'm sensing. But let's save. We deserve it. Okay, check. Oh, excuse you. Okay, we're checking in again. Just had our run-in with Herminia, and I'm a little bummed out. Honestly, she seemed like a cool lady. Like, we got little glimpses of her life and her personality when, like, seeing memories in the different mermaid locations and through notes, and I kind of thought she was gonna be like a cool badass lady. I knew that like she wasn't gonna live, but I guess I kind of hoped we were gonna get to speak to her more. But we just had that last radio conversation, and then we found her the way we found her. Oh my goodness. I'm glad at least we didn't have to A, watch her die, or B, kill her ourselves. So that was nice. She seemed like she was real afraid of this Arroyo guy. Hi, are you pulling on my hair? Yeah. Do you want to say something to YouTube? But she was definitely spooked out by this Arroyo guy, this Padre Arroyo, who is on our hit list. And he's just a scumbag, right? Like, what we learned about him in the brothel, obviously. And then it just seemed like she was afraid of him before then too. So he's obviously gonna be our big bad, or at least our medium bad, I think. So Herminia is gone, so are her mermaids. That was just very melancholy and sad, but the puzzles and the change of pace that this section offered us was really, really nice. I definitely like good changes of pace like that. Oh, and it needs to be mentioned, but this, oh no! No! I don't think I'm ever gonna forgive this game. Like, that was... I hated it so much, and there's gonna definitely be more. We're gonna see those paintings again, and we're gonna know what's coming. But, oh my goodness. And then, of course, oh, Madre Dolores just showed up, scared the shit out of me. And we experienced probably one of many Dolores deaths that we're gonna have, but still love her. She's still super freaky. And now we know that she's like the lover of the sun. Interesting, or was. She seems to be a bit spurned now. But after surviving our lovely Dolores, we went back to the fair, which was very, very nice. I looked for Mediodia and couldn't find her. We talked to the merchant, and I love her. the witch, the merchant witch lady. I wish she would talk to me more. I want her to give me more. Got some much needed upgrades because I went around and found some of those Solari chests. So I got a bunch of the crow charms and I got a bunch of money so I could upgraded the durability of my knife again because I think that's the best weapon. I think I upgraded the power of my handgun because it seems pretty weak. And those horrible things in the basement seem to take the shotgun shells a lot better. So I upgraded that as well. So I think I'm good. Was happy to have some upgrades. Oh, we played some games and I listened to some absolutely riveting conversation from the Solari guards. All right, back at the fair.
I need a pee. Too bad. We're not leaving the post.
What? You want me to piss myself?
I don't care. But if you move, I'll break your neck.
With all this rain, pretty sure no one would notice.
You better be joking. Because if you splash me, you'll be licking it clean.
Okay, I'll hold it.
The conversations I've run into in this game. And I think that's where we're at. Oh, no. There was, we passed by some other guards and they were talking about how like, well, you know, 1 or 2 down and 2 more to go for the people we need to make the daggers. So we got rid of Armenia. The next guy, I can't think of his name in this exact moment, but they were basically like, oh yeah, like he's apparently here and I hope that the chosen one makes him suffer. So he apparently deserves some extra special suffering. So that'll be interesting. I don't know anything about him yet, but maybe Herminia is going to be our only like redeemable character. So we'll see, but we are heading to the Ram district now and I have no idea. We're past the demo now, so like anything I saw in trailers, any early game stuff, we're definitely going into unknown territory now. I hope there's more puzzles. Obviously there's gonna be more Dolores. And I am excited for more of this like twisted and beautiful thing that the story is doing. I just love that. So let's go play some more.
Come on then, lift it. Mediodía, what do we know about the target?
How about we start saying please for once, huh? Anyway, Lorenzo Hierro is the heir to the Ram District, which makes him the richest guy in all of Tormentosa. His family made their fortune off Mount Tanata. So if you ask me, I bet my neck he's hiding up there.
Another one of your hunches.
Got a problem with that? Next time, you can figure it out on your own. Adios.
What is our problem now?
All right, it's been a while since we checked in. I have played a lot. We did all of chapter 2 and I'm actually halfway through chapter 3, but we'll talk about chapter 2 first. We went to the Ram district and we were going after Lorenzo. Yeah? Lorenzo, who people wanted to especially suffer, but he just seemed like a spoiled brat to me. I really feel like this chapter just didn't hit for me. Like I was kind of bored and it took a long time, but it was mostly about finding key cards to turn the power on to go another section and find another key card. Haha. Hi. And I just felt like it took forever and there wasn't a lot of like interesting story here. Lorenzo was covering up deaths in the mine. There might have been a little tidbit that it was to do with some sort of like ritual with like the blood of the last heir or something like that, but then I never got more info on it.
What exactly are we looking for? Anything. Papers, recordings, something that tells us what they found in the mine. Wait, there's something here. Would a journal do? A journal? Hand it over. Just a sec. Here it is. And with the blood of the descendants, the rightful heir shall rise again. By the sun, this can't be.
So like, I really feel like I missed something in this chapter, and that's why I'm just kind of like meh about it. But we had some cool moments for sure.
Are you not tired of following me?
There's a bunch of Dolores chasing, and I love that. I do think she actually managed to like grab me through a hole once, and I was kind of shocked. Like I just like, because I thought that was more like an intimidation visual thing, not that something she could actually do, and she did it. And hi, honey. Ooh, we got a new enemy type, and how they were introduced is kind of cool because we see this memory of this guy running, and you can hear them like, you're focused on the running guy, and then it took me a second to realize that there was other silhouettes in the memory, and you see one off to the side, and then as you're looking around, there's a bunch more around, but these little flying cheruby guys. So love the new enemy type. They were very annoying to deal with, and they get extra annoying in chapter 3 as well. But the rifle is awesome and feels very powerful and is exactly how we need to deal with them. So we love a new weapon. What else? There was this really funny moment where we had to like, one of the bodies we're looking for was like in a meat grinder, and we turned the power on, and then we got to see it get like grinded up. And then Gabe says this.
I had better follow the meat.
I don't know, I just thought this was so macabre and funny. I actually laughed out loud during this part, but then we did some puzzles to like conveyor belt it around, then we got the flesh. Always love a weird giggle moment in the middle of a game. But overall, chapter 2, it just, I don't know, I really feel like I missed something. Because by the time you find Lorenzo, the cave is, there's been a cave in and he's crushed under some rocks, and you watch him die. So like you don't, it's once again, you don't interact with him a whole lot. And I kind of expected to hate him more, but he just seemed like a spoiled brat. But we got what we needed from him, and then we moved on. And then immediately after, Dolores makes another grand appearance, and then she gets caved in on, and we haven't seen her since. So it, like, I was kind of shocked, like she was like completely covered. So I think it's trying to imply that she's dead, or maybe make us think that she's dead, but there's no way. She's gonna come back, and she's gonna, her porcelain exterior is gonna be so wrecked, and she's gonna look so much more gruesome. Also, I forgot to mention, there are landmines for everywhere in this part, and I think every single one of them managed to blow up in my face. I don't think I dodged a single one. All right, so moving on into chapter 3. Well, actually, what did we learn at the end of chapter 2? We learned hugely that Dolores and the sun had a baby, the son of the sun. And there's actually these like scrolls you find that you can read in the start menu, and I think one of them mentioned the son of the sun, and I just didn't put it together. But now we know probably what caused Dolores to turn her back on the sun. So that was interesting. And then Arroyo, so, oh, please forgive the weird sounds in the background. Baby has a weird toy, but the more noise it makes, the more entertained she is. So we're gonna let it happen. But after you leave the Ram District and Arroyo is on the radio, he makes a comment. What does he say? I have it written down. So he says something like how like the son of the sun was like right under your nose, or the answers was right under your nose. And I'm like, is he being literal? Like, I feel like, because we don't really know who Gabe is, so I'm like wondering if Gabe is like related somehow. Like, could Gabe be the son of the sun? But then it seems like Arroyo agrees that the being in the cathedral is the sun, not Gabe. And then immediately after, Gabe is talking to Mediodía, and they got a little closer in this chapter, just like trying to find some common ground, and she was reminding him to not be an asshole. And I guess then he agreed to like make her a part of his team because he's some captain, and she liked that. And she talked about how like she's a lot of like, she screwed up a lot in the past and she's trying to make up for it. She does mention that she hates the place we're going next, the Tomb of Dolores, because there's a lot of bad memories there. And I'm like, I don't know. So I still don't really trust Mediodía, but I feel like we're starting to like her and warm up to her so that Gabe can feel so betrayed by her later, but that's a different point. What else is on here? Oh, well, the Mediodía is like, because Gabe calls her out and being like, why didn't you tell me? And she's like, well, you're difficult to speak to. But then she tells him something else, but the sun whispers like block it out. So it's like, what else could there be? Oh my goodness. But whatever that detail is, it must have something to do with who Gabe really is. Like maybe he's another child. Maybe Dolores betrayed the son and had a different child somewhere, and then the son took that child from her. And I don't know, maybe Dolores is just filled with mom rage, and as a mom now, I guess I can maybe relate to that. And that would be interesting if like this terrifying, creepy, evil presence that's been stalking us is actually the relatable one. So interesting. But now we're on to chapter 3, and we're on to Arroyo. So we're heading through the Anchor District, and we have to go through the Cemetery of the Drowned, and you're actually on a boat and you listen to this like speech over the speakers from Arroyo as you're like heading to the Tomb of Dolores, and you can see all the grave markers for, because this is the Cemetery of the Drowned, and I guess drowned is a good thing, that's what they do with their dead. But it was just like, there's so many graves, it seems weird, like wouldn't want to fall in that water. I was really hoping that the game would like really solidify my interest in hate in Arroyo in this chapter, and we didn't quite get that yet, because you walk in and he's waiting for you right there, which was a nice subversion of expectations. We didn't really have to go looking for him and take a while to get to him and all that stuff, and then we like kill him right away and he falls into the water. Gabe has to admit that he has to drain the place because he can't swim and get the body, which I'd forgotten, but it was clear he was pretty afraid of water at the beginning. Or did he say that he couldn't swim or he's afraid of water at the beginning? I think so. But then we have to experience the tower. Actually, before you get into the tower, there's also exploring around this area, and there's a couple different houses. I really felt like there was like a difficulty spike in this area, because there's this one house I died in so many times. I was stuck there forever, and then right when I was in the clear, this happened. And it just was like, it just struck me, because I was like, I thought I was done, and then I had to redo it all again. Multiple enemies, some that come out of nowhere from behind you. And I actually went back and found that enemy that stuck up on me, and they literally like come from nowhere. They enter the house behind you like a few minutes after you come in. So like you're looking forward, you've cleared out the spaces behind you, and a new enemy has just popped up. So like I died so many times, but eventually I got through that. That sneaky death from that guy hiding against the wall though, it got me real good. I was just so disappointed, like, oh, I have to do it again. But we eventually made it through, and then we do eventually get into the tower, and we have to climb the tower. But as you enter, you see a memory of the admiral being like dragged towards this orb with this like sun god statue on it, and he's resisting. And I guess it's just people being like, we're sick of your shit. This admiral, because there's two admirals we're looking for of Arroyo's, and I guess they have the keys that he needs to drain the Tomb of Dolores so that he can then get Arroyo's body. Anyway, this first admiral, he's the Flame Admiral, I think. And he's in charge of like interrogating people and torturing people, and the Solari. So I guess the Solari kind of, when everything was happening in Tormentosa, they kind of went for him and they put him in the Morning Star, I think they called it. And it just looks like this spiked ball, and there's like a statue of the sun god on it, which I did think it was weird that there was so much like sun god imagery in this section for people that don't worship the sun god. But anyway, so where the ball, he gets put in the ball, and then as we enter, we see this memory, and then the ball gets raised up, and you can actually hear the guy. He's still alive. He's in this ball, but it's being raised up the tower. So we have to go up the tower, and eventually we get to this point. He's at the top. We walk through the door, and this is what I hear. Panicked. I was like, I gotta turn it off quickly. So I like ran thinking that I could like get up there really quick and turn the flames off and save him or in something, I don't know. But like then I like panicked and turned, and then I went back and was like, wait, there's no way. And I just was like, ah. So I did not save him. That was not the plan. But you basically have to get your way up to the Morning Star, and then there's this really dorky puzzle that I could not fathom what it was asking of me until I looked it up, and then was like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, but okay. So then you do a puzzle, and then it drops, and you have to then, so you go all the way up to the tower, do the puzzle, and then you follow it down until the Morning Star's at the bottom, and you can open it, and then you can absorb what was left of the charred flesh of the Flame Admiral guy. But he was an awful guy, and as you go through the tower, you can see like this place is in such contrast to my opinions on chapter 2, because I found the mine was just kind of like meh and boring. There's just like bodies everywhere in torture devices. Like literally, it was like you see someone sitting in a corner of a room and it's like this random corridor, and in the corner is a person in a torture device who died there. And I was like, they just left people to die in every corner of this place. It's so macabre. The place is so broken down, and it's just, you keep seeing these memories, and it's like, wow, this admiral guy was awful. The things they did to the people that didn't follow the sea god, awful. And you're just like, wow, this is rough. This is, what a place. So you don't, after this point, you don't really feel bad, even though you had to listen to that guy scream. That was not fun. But you're just like, okay, this guy might have got what's coming to him, because think of how many people he put in that Morning Star himself. But I digress. So far, I'm really liking this chapter. There's just so much more detail. It's more interesting, even though it's a bit hard to swallow some of the time, but loving it. So I got through all of the puzzles with the little wiggly faces. I love puzzles in games, but I am not gonna lie, I just like stumbled my way through these until I figured them out. I don't think I did it with any real measure of thought process or plan, but we made it through. It's fine. Oh, and the other things I'm forgetting. We got 2 new enemy types. Oh my goodness. The first one is this like wall gremlin flamethrower thing that is super satisfying. Once I figured out, like, you can just like kind of sneak up on and then just give them a shotgun shell to the face and they die. Very cool. I definitely died the first time. They hurt a lot, and they're just so creepy, and when you get up close you can see them and they're just like, ah. Love them. And then the coolest enemy ever, oh my goodness, you walk into this room and it's beautiful with these stained glass windows, and then this thing bursts through one and it's like this stained glass enemy. Oh, it was so beautiful, so cool and terrifying. And then weirdly, it totally got me, because I fought it and I was like, okay, it's gone, we're good, I'm gonna go up to this a crank and do it. And then I died all of a sudden, but I heard this like tick tick tick, and I was rushing because I thought that sound was it tick tick ticking, as if another one was about to break through a different panel of glass. But that was the sound of it walking. I didn't kill it, it went invisible. So then I went to the crank and then it killed me. Tricky thing, but they're beautiful. I was stunned. I was just like, what is this thing? It's beautiful. So it's just like, what a nice departure from the statues. Although they are creepy, they are a bit repetitive, and I was just like, what is this thing? I think I really want to draw one, honestly. They were cool. Very, very cool. Like, highlight of this so far. Oh my goodness. But that isn't as much as I've played so far. So we basically went up the tower. I then explored a bit. We have our merchant at the bottom of the tower, and she's sitting in a throne like she deserves.
Come closer, little Robin. I don't bite.
And then there's another corridor. There's actually this beautiful anchor with all of these flowers around it, and I just kind of stopped and looked at that for a minute because I thought it was pretty. But that's the way we need to go now. I think we're gonna go down now. So we did the tower up, and that was the flame admiral, and we're gonna go down into the depths, and that's gonna be the like water themed admiral, I guess. And I think we're gonna learn probably more about this religion as a whole, because we basically just seen how much they hate the Solari. So that's where we're at. But the tower, loved it. Like, so much detail, so creepy. It was really difficult. Like, this so far, this chapter has been such an upgrade from chapter 2. Anyway, that's where we're at for now. Hopefully this check-in was a bit coherent, because this gamer's real tired, but mom life. Anyway, let's go play some more. I think we're honestly close. We'll get to finish chapter 3, and then I think there's one more chapter after this. So let's go play.
In the days of the Great Dusk, the Inquisitors decreed the Purge. Many of Tormentosa's children were executed in the name of the Sun. Among them was Dolores, who, without any trial, was bound to an anchor of emerald iron and cast into the sea, that her name might sink with her. But her death brought not silence, but tempest. And the brave souls of Tormentosa rose united under the spirit of the Holy Mother of Scales, driving the servants of the Sun from their sacred lands, never to return. Okay, so we're moving forward into the second half of chapter 3, but when I sat down to start playing this section and I read the Maramento, is that what they're called? I think I've written somewhere. When I read the Maramento page about Dolores' fate, I was just like, and that's why this place is called the Tomb of Dolores. Is that where they literally drowned her? It's just like, so sad. And I was a little shook like that. Like, that's what happened to her. She's the sun's paramour, and she has the sun's child. and yet she was still hunted and drowned. And it was just like, huh. So I was a little shocked by that. And I'm disappointed that these Merrimento pages that you find, and they're hidden collectible, you can't read them unless you go out into the main menu. They're in the extras menu, and I really think they're way too missable for that. Like, unless I'm missing a way to like read them when you're like actively playing in your game menu. But I really think that those should be more accessible because they offer some cool details. And there's another detail later on about the stained glass creatures that I think there's a Merrimento page about them too. And it'd be nice to just fill that in. And I think it's just a shame that they kind of put it out of the way, because those are some really nice details that help add to the story. But how sad. How sad. No wonder this woman is so angry in her afterlife state. No wonder. But moving quite along into the second half of chapter 3, I think I loved this section especially. It was just so atmospheric. I loved the music, and it's so cool because it's the inverse of the first half of this chapter. You come to the tower and you have to go to the very bottom and then work your way up. And obviously earlier it was you go to the top of the tower and you work your way down. So I love that little detail when you realize that like each half is just like, it's just a reflection. It's very, very cool. So we went down here and we see this memory to start where they're talking about, I guess, just like committing their dead to the water. And I was like, okay, this is their funeral rite. That's what all those floating things are. Those are grave markers. So I kind of was thinking that this section was going to represent like the gentler side of this religion, and it was going to be just more info and all about like, I guess, like their death rites and funeral rites and stuff like that. I was very wrong. I was very wrong. There was still lots of torture, but you first walk in and you come across this big bridge, and I just looked around. It was nice. And then you go into the center spire and there is this statue, and the admiral body that we're looking for is right there being held by this statue of Dolores. And then we activate something and it goes down. So we have to go all the way down to the bottom to see it. But still at this point, I was thinking that this was like still the gentler side of the religion. But what this is just, this is where they drown people instead of burn them. And I don't know what the distinction is. I thought maybe at first this is what they did with the criminals that followed the god of the sea. But then we do see like a blood memory thing of a tormento taking a salary to the statue to be weighed and measured. So that kind of debunked that. So I don't know what the criteria is and how they decide who goes up the tower or down the tower, but neither is a good place. On our way down the elevator to come out to this spot too, we had a phone call from Mediodia, and she tells Gabe to just listen to his heart when he wonders if he's doing the right thing, blindly following the sun to kill his child. And we still haven't seen her. We don't know where she is. We only hear her on the radio. So I still feel like there's like a big secret to reveal, because like, where is she? But regardless, so we go in, we see the statue, it's dropped down to the bottom, and we learn that is the statue, as beautiful as it is, it's just another torture device. I think it was when we learned about this, that's when I realized that this was not a gentler side of this religion. And what they do is they put you in the statue, and then I guess they take your crimes or your sins and they assign them a weight, and then the weight pulls the statue further and further down. And if you have committed too many crimes or sins, the weight of them pulls you under the water and you drown. So that's nice. Creative, but nice. So for this section, the puzzle part, in order to get the statue to come back up so that we can actually get to the Admiral's body, we have to balance the scales. And we do it a few times, and each time it raises a little more. But we have to go all the way down to the bottom in order to get access to the first one, and then work our way back up. And a notable point that I cringed. I think I saw or I heard something that I was just like, oh, they're back. Like creepy crawly, wet, moist sounding things that come out of the paintings. There was a lot of them down here. It was great. I think I just reasoned eventually, because I was trying to kill them, but there were so many and I was so low on ammo and health at this point that I just started running and trying to get everything done that I needed to get done. But all I could hear was their like wet, squishy footsteps around me at all times. And I was just like, oh, I hate these things so much. But we made it through. I think I died a couple times, but we eventually made it through. We also saw a memory of this Tormento, which is kind of just like the priests, I think, in this, talking to a Solari that he was walking down the path to go to the statue to have her sins measured. And he was saying he never really wanted to be a Tormento, and I guess she was trying to convince him to let her go. And he is the son of the Admiral, which is a little sad. It seems like he was forced into this job. And then you do see a memory later of him telling his father that he didn't want to be a Tormento and confronting him. I did lose that footage because the power was flickering and I was trying to record and it just didn't save, but that happens. And I think it's actually in response to this. So the reason the Admiral is in the statue is because I guess his faith was shaken when his son said he didn't want to be a part of this. So he like committed himself to be judged by the Lord of the Sea, and I guess he was found wanting. So that's why his body is there. So that explains that. I think I managed to save that memory, but he seemed to have put himself in that situation, which in itself, I guess, is another way of like inverse compared to him and the other Admiral, because that Admiral was thrown in the Morning Star and he put himself there because of his actions. Like his actions, basically, that was the consequences, because he ended up, people came for him and they put him in there. And he definitely fought it and didn't want to go in there. But this, like, water admiral, I don't know what to call him, he put himself there willingly to subject himself to the same judgment that he put onto others. So it's really interesting, the dichotomy between the two admirals and the up and the down the tower and the flame and the water. I really love dualities like that. And I think using that as a plot device just worked really, really well, and probably is why I'm enjoying this chapter so much, because I'm noticing these little details and I like it. But I'm not gonna lie, one of my favorite parts of this chapter was when we got the machine gun. I was so excited. Look at this thing. It's amazing. And then immediately right after, I had to fight some enemies, and I feel like it went really well. And I just felt like I was kicking butt, and it was just funny too, because in that moment, as I feel like I'm kicking butt, I'm getting kicked in the butt by just a pair of legs, because I always forget that the legs can just walk around themselves. So I had such a fun moment here where I was like, machine gun, fighting things, it's going so well. And then I just couldn't help but laugh when I realized I was being harried by these just set of legs. And another moment where actually this game made me laugh, I think it was soon after I got the machine gun, but I'm walking around and I see this like dining table that's set up. People are having a nice meal, and there's just a dead body like in a chair against the wall. And I just was like, this is what I was talking about earlier when I talked about how like there was dead bodies everywhere, but even down here, like they're just eating dinner next to a person who's being actively tortured / had been tortured to death, and they just left them there. I guess people of this religion are just not very sanitary. There was this really cool moment where one of the stained glass guys like grabbed me, and I was like, oh, like it sucks because you're killing me, but it just looks so cool. I loved those enemies. Oh, I wish there was more of them. We had so many statue enemies, and then the other enemies that were cool, I just feel like we didn't. It's almost like I feel like the game wasn't long enough, because I think the pacing of them introducing the enemies wasn't that bad, although maybe we could have gotten a new enemy a little bit sooner. But I wanted to, like, I don't know, I wanted to see more variations of them, or something that like get a little crazier with the stained glass. Like I just kind of wanted more. And I feel like that's my overall thoughts with this game. Like whenever if I have any complaints, it's only that like I loved a thing and I wanted more of it. So that's a really good sign. So then we went back to the Tomb of Dolores, and we had to do a stained glass, like reorganize, like a turning stained glass window puzzle, which took me a little while, but I like those kind of puzzles. And it always reminds me of that one puzzle from Resident Evil 4 with the light that you like have to turn, you know the one. And we drained the Tomb of Dolores, we got to Arroyo's body, and then
The son, without a shred of remorse, tore him from his mother's arms and cast him into the sea until his flames were extinguished forever.
He killed him.
Murderer!
My tomb shall now be yours.
A true boss fight. There'd been a couple other boss fights in the game so far. They were just with these rock enemies, and I breezed by them because they weren't anything special. But this one is different. This is a boss fight with Dolores. Dolores! Oh my gosh! Oh, I still love her. I really want like a figure or maybe even just an art print of her. I think I need to go shopping. But she had a anchor, was it? That she was like beating us with. And we ended up having, we couldn't harm her, but we ended up having to like slowly take over the weapon she was using and then use it against her. And it wasn't exactly the most riveting boss fight, but she's like screaming at me. I love her voice. We were trapped in there, and it just, once you figure out the pattern, you were fine. So it wasn't particularly challenging, but it was nice to finally come to a head and fight Dolores. And she's just so cool. I just loved her. Clearly I'm on the bad guy side. Clearly. But we do eventually best her and leave her at the base of the Tomb of Dolores, which, you know, fitting. It's kind of like we put her back to bed, you know, put her back in her final resting place. But goodbye, Dolores. And that is the end of chapter 3. And I did look it up, no spoilers or anything, but I knew that there was only one chapter after this, so I knew shit was about to hit the fan. But I didn't quite expect this call from Mediodea.
Cap, we've got a huge problem. Statues have overrun the fair. There are too many. We won't hold out much longer.
Hold on as long as you can. I'm on my way.
Then you better hurry, or I swear I'll come back from the dead just to kick your sorry ass. Get off me, termite nest!
Mediodea? Mediodea, come in. I need to move. Fast.
So, like, you can just hear it in the background, but the fair is overrun. The statues have found them. We're finally going to find her. I've been saying this the entire time. Like, where is Mediodea? And then we're going to find her, and she's dying or something. I'm like, no. So we head back to the fair. But on our way there, things get really crazy. For one, we get a harpoon launcher, which was awesome. So I went, harpoon launcher. Oh my God. And then I was like, and then you use it, and this happens. And then I was just like, it's a grenade launcher. And then it's infinite ammo? What? I was like, this is crazy. And the way the atmosphere changed, like everything's red.
By the sun. Is that blood falling from the sky?
It's raining blood. Like, I love these kind of like siege moments in games whenever like the shit hits the fan, you have to like run through the crazy. Especially when it's an area that you've been through before, so you can see how it's changed. So I do love that. It wasn't infinite ammo. Truly, I ended up realizing that it's the rain. It's raining blood, and you use blood to like recharge your ammo, right? And when you're out in the blood rain, you have this infinite ammo with this grenade launcher, and it was just absolute madness. You fight a bunch of enemies. I definitely died a few times throughout here, but it was just cool to run around and fight our way back to the fair. The music was amazing. There was a tough boss fight with another like rock guy, and we finally get back to the fair.
No. It is too late. Mediodea! Where are you? Mediodea, answer me!
It's a mess. Gabe like yells for Mediodea. We have to find her, and we do end up learning like she's not dead. She's not dead. We just find her hat, and she's like, I'm tougher than that. But we need to go end this. So then we have to go back to, we have the keys, so we need to go back to the cathedral where all of this started and put the lock back in. But things obviously don't go quite as planned. Dolores, of course, shows up, and she's basically all like, I'm sick of your shit. It's time that you remember what's going on. And at this point, I was just like, what? Because she did seem to know more about us. She immediately called us Soldadito, which means soldier. And they've been hinting at a lot of things throughout. But what I didn't expect was this.
I will not let you harm him again. None more. He is your own flesh and blood.
My blood? What are you talking about?
I've taught you to your ignorance long enough. Now it's time to remember.
My lord, I see unrest in your eyes. Has something happened?
This child, Dolores, he should have never been born.
What do you mean, my lord? He is your son. Our miracle.
I have seen what lies ahead. A fate where even death itself fears him. A future where nothing remains. Only emptiness.
He's just a child! You cannot condemn him for sins he has yet to commit! If we stand by his side, if we guide him, none of that has to come to pass. I beg you, reconsider.
My love, we cannot take that chance.
If you do this, I will curse you. I will not rest until your reign withers and your name is lost to time. The sun will not burn forever, and when you fall, I will be there to see it.
Restrain her.
Let me go! No! No! Stop!
I am sorry, my little flame. I am so sorry. I have always been the sun.
Coward. That's all you've ever been. You chose to forget, rather than face the truth.
You are right. I was afraid. I could not allow him to destroy everything.
If the universe must perish, so our sun may live. So be it.
This whole reveal that Gabe the whole time has been the actual son, which I don't really know how I feel about that yet. But I mean, he needed something done, and instead of being a god that just like tossed a soldier in to go get something done, he came to do it himself, so props for that. But we learn about this, like, it was awful watching this flashback, and I feel like I'm gonna be such a sensitive baby now that I'm a parent whenever there's anything to do with a child, and I'm just like I was hard to watch, and oh god. And that's why earlier when I mentioned when he was talking to Mediodia about he's not sure if he's doing the right thing, just going to kill the son's child, it's like he had a second chance to do something different, because he clearly struggled with this decision, and he was like, do I do something different this time? So I did think that was interesting when I thought back to that moment, that even in his in this version of himself that didn't remember him killing the son, or his son as the sun god in a previous time, he was like unsure if it was the right choice. So I just thought that subconscious thought of his was a cool detail that was worth pointing out. But we have a final boss fight to do, so Gabe still thinks that like this is the right choice, that's something that he has to like stop what's going to happen. So we have this boss fight, and this horrendous creature appears, this oh my god, this evil baby thing in the womb, and it just, oh my god, it was awful and great. Like, we know I love that, but it was ugh. And we're definitely not surprised, because everything about this religion definitely would not have painted this as like a pretty god. And it makes sense, because the sun god was so revered and so beautiful, whatever, that this opposing force of the sea god would be like ugly and hideous. But it was just so gross. It's so gross. And the boss fight took me multiple tries, so I looked at this thing for a while. But eventually we best him and we put him back to sleep, and then the game's over. We did it.
I hope you can forgive me someday, but I have no choice. A god would have found another way. A true one, at least. That is why I, Gabriel Escudero, renounce my lineage, my past, all that that I once was. Let this promise be written upon the heart I ignored for far too long. From this moment on, and until the end of my days, I will do all I can to redeem my sins. I do not know when or how, but I swear, I will come back for you, not as the god I was, but as the man I was always meant to be, and I will save you. What have I done?
Chin up, Cap. Not many know what it's like to wear the crown.
Mediodía. I thought you were...
And it does kind of end with Mediodía comes in, and they definitely seem like they're gonna like partner up, and it doesn't seem like Gabe is gonna go back to being the sun god. I don't know. And it seems like it's like open for potential redemption of Gabe in the future. Like it seems like that's kind of how they end it. But I was feeling a little unsatisfied, I think, with the ending. I wasn't expecting Gabe himself to be the son, and I think that was... It seems a little clunky, that explanation. Like, I feel like it would have made more sense if Gabe was, like, another child. I mentioned that earlier, and his memories were taken away so that he wouldn't have hesitation about killing his sibling, or something like that. But him... sending himself to kill redo the seal again, but taking his memories, like I guess it's the lack of memories that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I feel like I've missed something, like lore wise or something, that there's just so much explanation there. And also, like, how did his son become the sea god if he was supposed to be like the heir to the sun? If I use my imagination, I guess I can presume that because he was drowned and that's how he was killed, he has all this like power because he's the son of the sun, and that got warped into something to do with the water because he was drowned. So maybe that's how he became the sea god. But there just wasn't a lot of explanation about these things, and I have questions. So I do find the ending a little like it's almost one of those times where like the explanation to things is a little bit too convenient, and I do think there could have been some juicier ways to do things, or maybe they just needed to work in some better ways to just like explain these things. Overall though, like I love that this was basically like a family dynamic story. Like we have the parents that are obviously at odds over what the sun god did, what Gabe did, which, oh my god, editing this is gonna be tough again because I'm gonna see that cutscene and I don't want to see it. But I feel like what it needed was I needed a little bit more to make it hurt more. Like obviously the cutscene with the child was tough, but understanding why he made that choice, like there just wasn't enough. Like maybe we needed to see a flash of what he saw, like this threat that his son was potentially going to become. Maybe there just needed to be more of a breakdown. Like maybe we just needed to see more of the struggle that he went through to make that choice. I think Gabe being the sun god needed a little bit more work, like maybe a little bit more explanation or more hints put throughout, because like the sun god was talking to him at the beginning, but then it is him, and I don't quite understand that. Or maybe it's just what he became after this all happened, but I must have missed something somewhere about how the sun god could possibly be Gabe, and I'm just a little confused on that. I do think Dolores, though, like the way she's presented in the flashbacks, and then you see her in the future, and then learning what happened to make her become what she is now, done so good. So good. And I feel like that had a lot of payoff, because of course she would become this angry, deranged monster, like after everything that she went through, and she was still trying to defend her son, who is the sea god in the cathedral. So, like, and just getting the tidbits throughout of how she was devout to him, and then he chose her, and they fell in love, and you're questioning like what could make her turn on the sun. And I think Arroyo actually commented on that, like, what do you think could turn Dolores against him? And it was just I just think she was done so good. Her story, perfect. Needed a little bit more of filling in the details of how sun god got to Gabe, if that makes sense. But that's really my only complaint, like my only true complaint, that just didn't quite hit. Once again, it's almost like I like it, but I need more. I needed a little bit more. Overall, this game was actually was super fun. I love the whole aesthetic. They found their inspirations. They knew what they wanted to do, and they designed it to a T. Like, it looks so good. I did really like the combat, the back and forth of resource management between your health and your ammo. Loved that. I think more games should do something like that. I think that is awesome. The environmental storytelling of this game was perfect, especially the chapter 3 with the tower sections. I raved about the first section with the mermaids. Like, I feel like I want to talk about that more. I loved that whole section, and I think that was done so good. But overall, the environmental storytelling of this game, perfection. So was the music. The gun and creature designs are amazing. There was just so much goodness in this. And I think I said near the beginning that this is really hitting some BioShock vibes for me. And it still hit that. Like, I think BioShock hits in the same areas harder, but this game, like it's so juicy. The design and everything, so good. Really, the only I have complaints about some of the weaker story elements, but that's my really only complaints. Combat was fun. It looks really good. The design is good. The creativity, and I'm just, it's so good. It has so many things that I feel like are just like exactly what I want in a game. Like, beautiful but creepy, and the creativity and the so good. And even hit me a little bit emotionally. I can't help but feel like there's still something missing from the game. Like we just didn't get a lot of info on Mediodia, and she seemed very mysterious, but then we got no payoff. And then obviously the Gabe and Son thing. But I think if I could fill in that lore a little bit more, it would be perfect. It would be perfect. But that is it. I have finally finished Crisol Theater of Idols. It took me so long to lit my way through this game. #mom life. And then we put together this gaming vlog. Hopefully this video comes together in some sort of succinct way. But doing a video like this is nicer because then I can just play in small chunks and I don't have to worry about the sound quality or the audio or it picking up like a very loud child in the background. So recording Let's Plays is a little bit difficult. So this video was fun. I'm glad I thought to give this a try. I definitely think I'm going to do this more with other games. This is going to be how I get a lot more gaming done and a lot more videos done on my channel, just because making Let's Plays when you have a loud baby is hard. But that is it. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this. If anybody has any tips or suggestions on how I could have formatted or made this gaming vlog better, I would be happy to hear it. But that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for playing games with me, and more videos to come soon. Have a good day.